You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. Cometh, watch, and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience. Enter the naked eye. This domain consists of a pupil, iris, retina, sclera, and many other intricate parts that generate sight, which in turn creates our perception. Is seeing truly believing? Judgment based on what we think we've witnessed lies somewhere between foresight and hindsight, but by then, it is usually too late. I've just been caught red-handed. Hello, and welcome to Stimulus Dimension. Today's topic is entitled The One-Way Glass. Misconceptions human beings have between one another lots for a vicious, perpetual cycle that only creates division amongst people. In these type of situations, one must be more given to subtraction. Delete all preconceived notions before drawing a conclusion. Unfortunately, in the social world, things do not happen this way. Interactions of people are reminiscent to that of activity conducted in an interrogation room. In this equation, a nefarious happening has occurred. Two entities are summoned to occupy this space, the person of interest and the interrogator. The dwelling is surrounded by mirrors that are not transparent to this duo. A third official awaits outside the room, onlooking through an area of the glass that does provide a visual and audio. The deadliest of whodunits has commenced. The interviewee appears anxiety-ridden with visible blood stains about his hands. The blood symbolizes societal standards forced upon this individual. Here's where the plot thickens. When the accused is questioned about their serrated hands, they simply deny the stains being anywhere present on them. Such a response baffles and leaves the inquiry dumbfounded. Something does not add up. Has there been an error in arithmetic? How can what is obvious to one set of eyes not be apparent to another? This all reverts back to what environment someone is reared in. Every religion, race, color, and creed holds customs and beliefs that outsiders do not understand. As a result, one group speculates about the other. The greater than or less than principle of mathematics is then applied between these conflicting viewpoints. Depending on where you're from, certain numbers of people say that others are synonymous with types of behaviors, dress, physical characteristics, and so on. Over time, if a subject is not taken out of this habitat and provided with objectivity that proves No two individuals are the same. The misguidance will multiply in large bundles. In order to find a correct answer to any equation, the proper operation must be performed. How shall we ascertain the sum, quotient, product, or whatever the case may be? Improperly executed problem-solving methods have proven to be causations of detriments such as racism and any other negative action ending with the suffix ism. When an attempt is made to subtract a smaller number from a bigger one, a process called borrowing is applied. The smaller number becomes larger by borrowing from another beside it that is bigger, now making subtraction between the two initial numbers possible. Many use this approach socially. They prejudge another based on appearance because of a previous unpleasant experience with several others of similar description. Mathematical mishaps like this lend a difference in life or death. Landmark cases of wrongful deaths through discrimination reaching across national premises give weight to this argument. And here we are, back at the interrogation room. The two inquisitive minds and the accused struggle for the moment of truth. Some say the truth shall set you free, while some are indicted and convicted by it. How do we define truth? Your truth may not necessarily be another's truth. If 8 eyewitnesses were given the same scenario, guaranteed, it will result in 8 different answers. Who is the culprit for these disparities? Media, television, or word of mouth? All of whom shape and mold the clay of opinion. Knowledge is contagious, so is ignorance. Usually the insecure point fingers at someone else. After lengthy configuration of this equation, the question still resonates in the air. How is the suspect oblivious to the blood on their hands? When confronted with this once more, they responded, "You viewed me through the wrong eyes." On your conscience lies the irrefutable answer to the problem. Repeated mathematical inconsistencies equals out to the sum of all fears, fear itself. Teaching oneself to loathe what one does not understand brought about miscalculation on your part. Your stereotypical frame of mind spread throughout your body, diseasing you optically as well. My guilt was predetermined before even arriving at this place of interrogation. Over time, your retina has been trained to automatically detect blood on those who differ from yourself, even though they have done nothing indicative of malice. Use the order of operations to solve for the variable x. X representing any and everyone unfamiliar to you. Suddenly, the blood faded from the palms of the accused. Authorities on both the opaque and transparent sides of the one-way glass at once began to reflect on a past outlook. At this moment, the miseducated unlearned all that was taught them. Enlightenment has gone. Judgment on grounds of appearance is a wrongfully imposed death sentence. The person of interest has now exited to freedom. What is left behind the mirrors of the interrogation chamber is the moray of learning to relate to one another in a more mathematical way. Assess someone or something after thoroughly reviewing behaviors associated with the person or thing. Do not hastily condemn anything according to looks. Then think objectively once more. This is the meaning of X. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Stimulus Dimension. You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. A cometh, watch and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience. You've fallen into a state of mind known as stimulus dimension. I'm a resident of the realm and your host, DENNELL Young. This entity delves into the source of environmental ills we are faced within the Black community and the world abroad, while bearing the vendetta of restoring the integrity of hip-hop culture and quality of radio listening as a whole. A cometh, watch and listen as we are both enlightened with a true learning experience.